Good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Matt with our Wednesday workout. Let's begin with 2 minutes of your choice warm-up pace cardio, and then we're going to go into some balance exercise as well as a hip stretch. So single leg Romanian deadlift. I'm picking one leg up off the ground, keeping the leg that's in contact with the ground as straight as I can, right? I don't want it to be hyperextended, but I want that knee just slightly bent. As I reach down, you should feel your foot wiggling around, searching for balance, and you should feel a really good stretch in the hamstring behind your leg. All right, next is WYT, 8 reps. So we're gonna make the W shape, these are all standing, the Y shape, and then the T shape. We're gonna do all 3 of those and count that as 1 rep. I don't want you to bounce off of this one. I don't want it to be dynamic. I want it to be a slow, smooth squeeze and hold, and then reset. Slow, smooth squeeze and hold, and then reset. Those 3 shapes. Next one is some deadlift warm-up reps. I have a couple options for today, but the standard deadlift is what we're doing. So from the shins all the way up to the hips, in control, and then back down to the shins is our strength movement for today. And then I want you to do some practice rotary slam ball reps, okay? So the rotary slam ball is a big windmill motion. We use the core, we use the shoulders, we use the legs and hips, right? So I start standing over the top of the ball like this. So it's right between my feet. I'm gonna grab it, keeping my arms mostly straight. I'm gonna start by pushing one direction, rotating up, and then slamming on the outside of the opposite foot from where I started. When I finish that, then I'm going to hop over the top of it so it's reset in between my feet again. And then I'll rotate the opposite way. So slam ball, hop over, slam ball, hop over, right? So specifically what I would like to not see is the T-Rex version where my elbows are bent. I'm keeping it real tight to the body. I'd rather use a lighter weight and push it, swing it way away from you, okay? So we're trying to get that big windmill action of the arms when we do that. Next is going to be our strength set. This is going to be fast, it's going to be short, it's going to be challenging. So it's 5 minutes of deadlift. They're on a clock, right? So I would like to have everybody started relatively close to the same time, but I'll probably just have a running clock. So if you're ready early, then you can start earlier. If you need more warm-up sets to get up to this like 50 to 55% of your max, then you can take a little bit longer. But the whole thing lasts 5 minutes, whether you start in the early phase or start later. The requirement is you have to get through 4 reps and be ready to go again in 30 seconds. So it is 10 sets of 4, starting a new set every 30 seconds. So you can't leave the bar, right? The weight is gonna be what the weight is. You gotta pick one weight and stick with it. So make sure you do enough warm-up so that you feel like this is an appropriate weight. If you want to add a little challenge to it, we can do a banded version of the deadlift, right? But these are essentially like speed reps of the deadlift at a very moderate weight. So 50 to 55% is the target weight, and it'll be 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, set the bar down and stand there. At the 30-second mark, I'm reaching back down, picking it up, doing 1, 2, 3, 4 again, right? So this is essentially a very compressed amount of rest time, but the weight is lighter. We'll let you try to move the bar as fast as you can. Like when we pick up a 50% deadlift, I want you to think like I'm pulling so hard in the middle, I'm trying to break that bar in half, right? The coach's challenge for this will be to do it with a band. So when you do a band, you just kind of lay it across the top of the barbell and then you stand on top of it like so. Right? And then as I pull up, the band tightens and it gets more challenging the farther away from the ground that I get, okay? So that is a band resisted deadlift, right? So that's our strength work. Again, only 5 minutes there, and then we're moving on. The every minute on the minute conditioning is what follows after that. So it's a 20-minute EMOM style workout with 5 stations. So 5 stations, you're gonna go through 4 rounds of this and just rotate in order. However, this is a perfect one to share a group of equipment with a group of people and just kind of rotate through. You do not need to do them in order, but I do want you to get all 5 exercises done before you go back to the first one. So don't do the same one twice ever, right? So go in relative order, or at least get through all 5 of those and then go back to the beginning. So the first one is a rotary slam ball like we practiced in the warm-up. So that's just for reps, so 16 total reps, and every slam is a rep. Okay. The next one is a weighted hip thrust. So for this one, you need to have a bench and I like to have them against the wall so they can't go anywhere, and then a weight to sit in your lap, right? 50 pounds is relatively challenging. If you want to do more, you definitely can, but make sure your shoulder blades are kind of on top of the bench, and then keep your knees at 90. Driving the hips straight up and squeezing, and then back down, touch the ground, drive the hips up and squeeze, and then back to the ground. So that is exercise number 2. The third one is a kettlebell good morning, right? So for this one, you could also use a dumbbell on it too, but this is a controlled hip hinge, right, with the knees mostly straight, right? So holding that kettlebell to my torso and like pulling it towards my sternum, keeping my shoulders nice and tight, good posture while I'm doing it. Next one is weighted ab mat sit-ups. So with a plate or a weight of some sort, we'll have in your hands the whole time, right? I want you to reach up, touch the plate overhead, and then sit up and push it straight to the ceiling, right? So try to get your arms in line over your body as you sit up, down, touch the ground, and then sit up with the weight. And then the last one is farmer carry. So farmer carry, you just have two heavy objects and we're carrying them down and back twice, right? Or 4 40-foot lengths of the gym. So again, this would be a fine one to spread out with, you know, have 3 or 4 people all using the same equipment and everybody just kind of rotate in order and share. It'll keep you from having to get out and put away all the equipment on your own, right? It's just a little efficiency tool. All right, and that's it for this Wednesday. Hope you have a great one. I'll see you guys on Thursday.